What is up, guys? It's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool video, and this will be a transfer news video about why Virgil van Dijk didn't move to Liverpool and what happened behind the scenes. But brand new revelations came out in the media that actually Virgil van Dijk thought that the deal was done, the deal was completed. Liverpool came very close to completing the Virgil van Dijk transfer, and the whole fan base, Liverpool fan base, is baffled about why didn't Liverpool put in one bid to a centre-back, for a centre-back in the transfer window, especially now that we conceded 8 goals in just 2 games in the Premier League. Let me tell you this latest news. So journalist Ian McGarry made some very interesting claims in a podcast which is called the Transfer Window Podcast, and he basically said this, and I quote him: Van Dijk, compared to his fellow rebels in the Premier League like Sanchez and Coutinho, has one great advantage in that he's not going to be cup-tied in European football in the January window, so that makes it more likely for Liverpool or any other club to sign Van Dijk in January, because you know that if you play in the Champions League or in the Europa League for a club, you can't play for a different club in the same season in the same competition. So I think Alexis Sanchez won't be able to play in Europe for any other side, just like Philippe Coutinho. And this journalist is saying that the best chance is for Van Dijk to move would be in January, and Liverpool was his first choice. And this is where it gets very interesting. So this journalist Ian McGarry says, I spoke to a close friend of Van Dijk, and he definitely believed that his deal to Liverpool was all agreed in terms of his personal terms, in terms of the transfer window that just finished. And the takeover of Southampton Football Club, the investment in the football club by Chinese owners, Gao I think is the Chinese businessman's name, it had a negative effect in the whole Van Dijk saga. Basically, they no longer wanted or needed that big money, that big price tag that Van Dijk would have had, you know, close to 60 million, some quotes even say 70 million pounds. And Southampton, with the new takeover, with the new cash investment into the club, they basically didn't any longer need the money in this summer transfer window. So that's why they decided to keep Van Dijk and make a claim that, you know, Southampton will change its transfer policy and they won't be selling to their best players to bigger clubs as soon as they want to move, which is kind of a very interesting tactic, because Southampton has always been about bringing through young players or signing them from abroad and selling them on for a profit. So I wonder what this model will result in for Southampton, because at the moment they don't look anywhere near, you know, challenging for a European place in the Premier League. They just lost 2-0 to Watford yesterday. By the way, I apologize for no videos yesterday, but I visited one of my best friends who just moved to a new house, and it was a 2-hour drive from here by car. So me and my girlfriend went there, and they welcomed us, and we went around the city where they now live. And this guy has been my best friend for like more than 20 years, since the beginning of high school. So it was a very good day out, but I just didn't have time to make any videos yesterday. But now I'm back, and tomorrow the FIFA videos are returning, so get ready, guys. I'm so excited. FIFA 18 is almost ready to come out, and the demo is almost here, so really pumped for that. If you are excited for that, make sure to smash the like button. Whether the journalist is saying in regards to Van Dijk staying at Southampton in the summer, and I quote, whether that backfires on Southampton in regard to the player's performance, we will have to wait and see, as he hasn't featured yet. By the way, today I think Van Dijk will play for the Southampton under 23 side in the Premier League 2 competition, which is basically the under 23 league of the Premier League, and Liverpool are actually top with 4 wins from 4 games in that league, which is kind of interesting. So this journalist is also saying, I go back to the original point in that Van Dijk has a good chance of moving in January, where I would say Sanchez and Coutinho don't have that good chance, and Liverpool are absolutely desperate for Van Dijk to come in. We are desperate for any centre-back to come in who is better, who is an upgrade on Klavan, because I told you guys, and I said this, and in the beginning of the transfer window, that I was worried about Liverpool's defense, because both Matip and both Lovren have a history of being injury prone, being injured throughout the season multiple times, and Klavan and Joe Gomez are just not good enough backups to be relied upon. Klavan had an absolute nightmare of a performance against Man City. He was roasted time and time again by Gabriel Jesus. Sometimes he was too wide, too far apart from Matip. They left too big of a gap between themselves, where Aguero or Gabriel Jesus made runs, and Sané as well when he came on. And Liverpool's defense got really exposed in the worst possible way. Man City actually scored 7 goals, 2 of them were disallowed for offside, but 5-0, you know, it's a shocker. So Jurgen Klopp, I'm sure, knows that that Liverpool need a new centre-back, and our interest in Van Dijk is still there. I think the reason why we didn't bid is because that Liverpool, you know, somebody, a journalist close to Liverpool or somebody with ties to either Van Dijk or Southampton, somebody leaked in the press that Van Dijk has agreed terms with Liverpool, and this source, this journalist, confirms it, that Van Dijk's close friend told him that Van Dijk thought that the deal has been agreed. So it was all over the newspapers, and Southampton, you know, without actually receiving an official bid from Liverpool, got royally pissed off. And I understand that, you know, you can't do that, a bid doesn't come in after newspaper articles saying that the player has agreed a deal with Liverpool, which is not possible under the rules. First you have to negotiate a deal with the club, and if the 2 clubs agree on a transfer fee, that's when you can negotiate terms with the players. Of course, that's not how transfers work in real life, but those are the rules, and Liverpool, you know, were pretty arrogant, in my opinion, too arrogant in fact, in that they thought that they could get away with it, and Southampton reported them to the Premier League. And what we don't really exactly know, what kind of punishment would have Liverpool had if we bid for Van Dijk, but we didn't want to risk getting a transfer ban, getting a points deduction. I really feel that this was a serious possibility. Otherwise we would have bid for Van Dijk, I'm 100%, because their money was there, and you know, Liverpool bid 75 million for Lamar, so we still have that money in the bank, which hopefully enables Liverpool to bid for Van Dijk in the January transfer window. The big question is, will Southampton sell Van Dijk? I think he has to come back and play for Southampton, because it's a World Cup year. The Netherlands, even though they don't look like qualifying at the moment, anything can happen in football. So Netherlands could still finish in 2nd place behind France in their group, and then the Netherlands could play a qualifier playoff before the World Cup, and if they get through that, Van Dijk could have a serious chance of actually featuring for the Netherlands in the World Cup. And I think any player has that dream to play in the World Cup. When I was a kid and I was playing football, I had this dream of playing for Hungary one day in a World Cup, but Hungary never qualified for the World Cup, so maybe it was a little bit too far-fetched. But Van Dijk certainly still has a chance to play for the Netherlands in the World Cup, so I'm sure that some way or another he will make peace with the Southampton manager. But the big question is, will Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool's gamble pay off? Because I think it's a gamble to go with this defense, this defensive setup, until the January transfer window at least, when we will have another chance of signing a centre-back. It's quite stubborn from Jurgen Klopp saying that it's Van Dijk or nobody else, because Liverpool could be out of the title race by the time we reach January the 1st, and we could be so far off the title race that even with Van Dijk we couldn't get back up. And then, you know, I think Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool will heavily regret not signing a centre-back. I'm not saying that it will definitely happen, because certainly Lovren and Matip can do a great job of, you know, sometimes keeping clean sheets. With Mignolet, they can sometimes have good games. The big question is, when top teams put pressure on the Liverpool backline, will they crack? And we have seen time and time again that they do. Against Man City, we just folded under pressure in the second half, which was very, very worrying, very concerning to see. Hopefully with Lovren back against Sevilla, we will have a much more solid defensive performance, but I'm still worried about the defense. With Van Dijk, I would be much more confident of Liverpool finishing in the top 4. Now that is also a worry. I mean, I would love Liverpool to go for the title and at least challenge and be in the title race at least until April or maybe even May. The only way I can see that happening is that Liverpool win a games 4-3 or 5-4. Sometimes that happened under Jurgen Klopp, but it's very risky to go that route again, and no Premier League side has won the title without a great defense, without a solid defense. I can't remember a Premier League side who has been leaking goals left, right and center and they have won the league. It's very difficult to win the title, because sometimes you don't play well and you have to grind out results. 1-0, 2-1. Liverpool are capable of doing that, but are they capable of doing that consistently against the smaller sides? That's the big question. Certainly we have a better attack than last year, but our defense is maybe even weaker with Lucas going to Lazio. So let me know, where do you stand on this debate in the comments below, and brand new FIFA videos coming tomorrow, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, see you later guys, goodbye.